I look at my skin now and I wouldn't want to change a thing. My skin is a tapestry. It's melanin. It's power. It's symbolic of a people who have been enslaved for hundreds of years and have come through it and are still struggling and will continue to struggle until we find our way. Hey, black child, do you know where you're going? Where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey, black child, do you know you're strong? I mean really strong. Do you know you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey, black child, be what you can be. Learn what you must. Do what you can do. And tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're a newbie, my name is Lavette Jallo. If you're an oldie but a goodie who's stuck around with me, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for supporting and for watching. Now normally I come to you guys and I'm super cheerful and I'm like, hi guys, we're going to talk about this and that, the new products, beauty, skincare, whatever it may be. But today I have a more serious topic to talk about. It's a topic that has been weighing on my mind for the longest time. But I have always put it off, like I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month. The time has come where I cannot any longer keep silent about this issue. And the reason is, over the last couple of weeks we've seen, I've been ranting on media about the skin bleaching products and all of these advertisements that are directed towards black women talking about bleaching your skin because we are considered to not be beautiful enough as black people. It took me back to a really dark time in my past, a dark time in my life. This topic is not easy for me to talk about at all. When I was younger, I obviously lived in the Gambia. You all know that because I'm very honest about that and I share a lot of information about my childhood. And I was surrounded by women of all colors, all shades. And it was nothing that I put any value on. Psychologically and subconsciously, I didn't put really much value in who's light, who's dark. I did hear a lot of comments like so-and-so is beautiful because she is lighter skin. So-and-so is beautiful because she is light. So-and-so got married, but isn't she beautiful because she's so light skin? But I also saw a lot of dark-skinned people who looked absolutely beautiful to me. So as a child, it never really made that much difference in my life. I also saw women with a lot of damages to their skin because of skin bleaching. Now, they obviously had lots of excuses as to why their skin looked the way they did, why their skin was reacting the way it did, why their skin was constantly red in the sun. When I was 12 years old, I moved to Sweden to be with my mother, to be with my family here. Of course, I talk about this quite often. When you come from a country where you're the norm and you move to a country where you are abnormal, things get hard. And me being me, I was a very nerdy child. I loved to read. I didn't have many friends, but I made friends with books. But that didn't really stop people from bullying me. My issues started around 14, 15. I was lighter skin, but in the summertime in Sweden, I would hang around people at school. So when we had breaks, we would all lie out in the sun. The white Swedish girls would lay out in the sun to get a tan. I would lay out in the sun with them. And I never thought it was, I did think it was a bit strange that I would get tanned and they would get red and burnt in the sun. And that's just because melanin in my skin is protecting me. But the darker I get every summer, the more I was teased, I was taunted, I was called names, I was called celebrities that people probably found to be unattractive. They called me Wesley Snipes, they called me tales out of children's books that were ugly little black trolls, basically. So When I went out for breaks and things like that, people would, you know, chant their songs and call me names. But for some reason, it was affecting me subconsciously, but I was too young to really make the correlation and be conscious about what it was doing to my psyche. When I went into shops and bought magazines together with my friends, I think they call it Frida magazine, all you would see, like literally, you would never see a black girl ever. And if you saw a black person in there, they would pick the lightest black person to be in the magazine. So I mean, they're picking literally a mixed person to be there with loose curly hair and pretty light skin. Come home and sometimes I watch TV and every single person on the television did not look like me at all. So I started to internalize all of these subconscious messages being sent to me as a child. You're ugly. Black is ugly. Too ugly to be in magazine. Too ugly to be on TV. You just don't belong here. But what broke the camel's back in my situation was I had a family member who made jokes that are so horrible now that I think about it. I don't know how any adult could look at a child and make those jokes. I'll tell you one of the jokes that, funny how 17 years later is still sticking in my mind. I was under 18 at this time. The joke was, if you were to get raped, the man who rapes you actually will be surprised by seeing how dark you are between your legs. That is the joke that an adult felt was appropriate to have with a child. And this adult was somebody that was bleaching their skin to be lighter. That made me feel so sad. That made me feel so unworthy. And I didn't break when society was telling me I was ugly, but I broke when a family member told me I was ugly because I was dark. Being 18, being young, being black, and being dark-skinned, I felt that I had to take matters into my own hands. And I went out and I purchased skin bleaching products. I mixed them myself and I started using them. And as you know with skin bleaching, you don't wake up the next day and you're white. So you just have to keep on doing it until your color is changing. Because what skin bleaching does is, it stops your melanin production. It minimizes your melanin production. The same melanin that's supposed to protect your skin is what you're trying to get rid of, the pigmentation. So over time, it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, your skin starts to get visibly lighter. But the products you're using to lighten your skin, including hydroquinone and steroids, weaken your skin. So suddenly when you go out in the sun, you get sunburned just like people who have no melanin. Okay? That is what happens. You start getting breakups on your skin. Your skin starts looking thinner and you're not actually getting lighter. You are getting grayer. That's all it's doing to you because you're not meant to use these products beyond 3 months. Yet I managed to use them for over 4 years, between the ages of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, even 23. So 5 years I was using these products. And you can't stop either because once you stop, you start getting darker. During these years, I started going to university. And in my quest for knowledge, for education, my brain started clicking bit by bit. I started realizing how oppressed my mind was, how I had allowed external sources to make me feel invaluable in myself, to feel worthless. But the more I was seeking education, the more things were clicking into place for me. The more I learned, and it doesn't mean that my studies were based in property and law, but the more my brain sought knowledge, the more I was seeking knowledge about other things. Google came during that time. So I started researching better skin lightening products. And I started coming into sites that were telling me what the damages to my skin were. And I could see those damages. I could see it clearly. But because my ego was being fueled by people responding to me differently, telling me I look beautiful, that I look pretty, blah, 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 they were in fact fueling the thought process that was in my head. But once I found that information, I went back home and I threw away all of the products. For me, what was most interesting was probably the thought processes I went through. I went from thinking my life would be so much better if I was lighter, to what am I doing to myself, to why is my skin behaving like this, to I'm going to stop this and I'm going to educate myself. And I don't want people who are watching my channel who may bleach their skin to feel like this video is an attack on you and your lifestyle. It's not. I am your sister and I'm merely sharing my story about these products. I'm hoping someone out there, no matter what age you are, but mainly young girls out there, understand that your success, your beauty, and your value does not increase or decrease based on how light skinned or dark skinned you are. People ask me all the time, I get DMs on a weekly basis asking me, why are you posting so much dark skinned girls on the Black Vogue Instagram? And my reply is, everything I do in this day of age, in my work, in what I'm passionate about, is my hope and my vision that if I post enough positive images of darker women, that women who are dark skinned today will understand that you can be beautiful at every shade. You don't have to buy the lies that are being force fed to us from childhood to adulthood, that we are not worthy unless we are light. It's not true. We are created equal. We all know that, right? But we know society doesn't treat us as equals. So in a quest to be equal, we look for all these ways to actually try to fit into a norm that will not value us, whether we're light skinned, dark skinned, as long as we are black. If you are a black girl out there and you're dark skinned and you're beautiful and you can't see it, I empathize with you. I know how hard it is to love yourself in a world that teaches you not to love yourself. I'm here today to tell you my story and what I went through. I want you to be so clear, my sister. My success did not come because I'm light or medium or dark skin. My success, just like your success, does not lie on your skin. It lies on what you have in here. It lies on how you value yourself, how you educate yourself, and how you respect yourself. Your skin is the skin of your ancestors, and trust me, black people have been through the hardest times in this world. Hundreds of years of oppression you wear on your skin. But what you also wear on your skin is survival. You have survived it. You belong to a people that have survived oppression. We may still go through oppression, but we wear our skin as a badge of honor. If black people were meant to be white, we would have evolved every human being on this earth to white. But because of how amazing the universe is, you have white people, you have black people, you have brown people, and you have people of the whole spectrum. And I wouldn't personally want it any other way, because variety is the spice of life. If we all look the same, yeah, we may not have racism, but God, what a boring world that would be. Look back on my sadness, when I look back on my unhappiness and feelings of unworthiness, it makes me sad. When I look at, 16-year-old me, who became 18-year-old me, who became the person that went out and bought these products in shops, and I didn't have anybody telling me what dangers this was. I was so unhappy. I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I was so unhappy. And now when I look back and I think, what would I say to me at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21? What would I say to her? What would I say to that Lovette? I would want to tell her, I'm so sorry. I would want to tell her, you are a beautiful human being. You're beautiful not because of the way you look. You're beautiful because of the big heart you have. You genuinely love people. You're beautiful because you're intelligent. You're beautiful because you are unique as a person. Nobody else is like you. And I would want her to know, Lovette, there will come a time when you will be standing in front of hundreds of people, having created a forum to help them come together. You will stand there and tell them about your struggles in a society that does not value you. You might inspire 1 or 2 people to go for their dreams. So it may be tough right now. People may laugh at you. People may laugh at your hair. People may laugh at your skin. People may call you stupid without even knowing you. But you are valuable in this life, and don't do anything to yourself that's going to harm you. Because there are better days ahead. And that is what I want to say to all of my black sisters out there who are watching. I don't care if you're my age, if you're older than me, if you're younger than me. You are unique and you are valuable. And I'm so angry at society and these companies that make you feel like you need to be lighter to be beautiful. Because it's not true. You're beautiful just the way you are. Sorry guys, I had to take a break and just collect my thoughts, collect myself, and come back to finish this video. I'm sorry it has taken me so long to talk about this. My apologies, I wasn't ready. So whenever the universe says it's to be done, it gets done. I have been triggered immensely the last couple of weeks based on what I've been seeing on social media. Information that's being shared. Companies that refuse to realize that it's 2017 and their propaganda has to stop. They have to stop influencing the youth, influencing women into dangerous practices that harm us. It harms us not only on the surface level, it harms us even in the mind, because in reality we're funding our own oppression. What I mean by that is that we're putting money into companies that really don't care whether you get cancer or not, whether you get infections or not, whether you get skin burns or not. These companies that you put money into aren't companies that are gonna pay for your hospital bill when your skin gets damaged. And I made this video because I wish I had seen something like this when I was younger. I wish I could speak to somebody who knew the damaging effects of these products. I'm still dealing with some of the damages that has been done to my skin. I want you also to know, if you're bleaching today, I am not attacking you in any way. I empathize fully with what you're doing because I know it's an addiction and I know that it's hard to break habits. But I also know that you can. If I can, and I'm no superwoman, I know you can as well. It was a liberating moment for me when I made my decision and I went into my bathroom and I threw away all of the products. Both in my mind and in my body, I felt like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I have a bachelor's degree, god damn it. I'm intelligent in my own right. And that's what I mean when I say, when you find self-love, you stop dangerous practices. Once you start liking yourself, loving yourself, and seeing representation around you, whether you create it on your own or you live in a society that actually gives it to you, that's when the journey begins. And it's not the end goal, it's the beginning, because self-love is a continuing journey. You will have moments where you still feel ugly, where you still feel useless. But those moments become more fleeting and less permanent than if you continue every morning putting that product on your skin, wondering when you're going to be valuable. You already are. It's all within you. If you watch this video and you have any comments with regards to my experience or any advice, or you just want me to put you in touch with dermatologists or doctors that know how to help you, do let me know. If you're going to comment on this video asking me what products I use, I will not reply. And I reply to literally everybody, but I will not reply, because giving you information of what I use to achieve that color goes completely against what this whole video is about. So I don't want to talk about the products I use. I don't want to give you any advice on that, but I can give you advice on products that won't do damage to your skin and won't lighten you, but it will just be good for your skin. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry for crying. I'm not a crier in general. I have a heart of steel. No, not really. But it was just, I had to go back to that place and talk to you guys about it and share that with you. I hope wherever in the world you are, that you are blessed and you are happy and you are safe. Take care of yourself and your loved ones, and I'll see you in my next video next Sunday. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.